Having one cigarette with alcohol is equal to having 30 cigarettes the entire week.
Vaping and e-cigarettes have become very popular. The younger generation feel that it is very cool to be vaping around.
Aerodigestive tract, or the path that air and food takes in our body, is very sensitive. Any chemical that can irritate it over a long period of time can become a cause for cancer in the future.
Hello everyone, this World No Tobacco Day we will be talking about all forms of tobacco. This will be your cigarettes, vapes, gutka, supari, khani, whatever you come across. We have two very wonderful oncologists with us who's going to be part of this conversation.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ashwin K R. I'm the head of department in Surgical Oncology at Aster Hospital Whitefield.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sai Vivek, medical oncologist here at Aster Hospitals, Bangalore.
The first question that I have is for you, Dr. Ashwin. People know that cigarettes are harmful, but is even one cigarette harmful for your health?
Any cigarette, even 1 or 2 or 5, it has been proved that it is linked to cancer. Not only lung cancer that everybody thinks, it can cause GI cancer, it can cause bladder cancer. So there's no way of knowing how many number of cigarettes is safe for you. As a basic, we tell all our patients, don't even have any cigarette.
The second one that we have, Dr. Sai, this is a big one in India. People think that eating gutka, supari will not have any harmful effects. What do they do to the health?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. Let's break it down into two aspects. The one which has smoke and the smokeless tobacco is the one which is consumed. All the gutka, khani fall into that category. All of them put together are responsible for multiple cancers. So to just put it as simple as possible, any form of tobacco, whether eaten or smoked, can lead to cancer.
That's good to know, doctor, because people usually think that non-smoking form of tobacco is not harmful to the health.
Can I add one thing?
Yeah.
So something which is very unique to India is especially the elder women in the villages. They have betel nut. Everybody thinks that betel nut, since it doesn't contain tobacco, does not cause cancer. In fact, betel nut has a chemical called aracholine, and along with slaked lime, it has been proved, even though it doesn't have smoke, if you are eating 3-4 betel nut every day, it is linked to cancer. So everybody thinks that only tobacco causes cancer. No, even betel nuts, if you take regularly over a long period of time, can cause oral cancer or throat cancer.
I think, to simplify it, or aerodigestive tract, or the path that air and food takes in our body, is very sensitive. Any chemical that can irritate it over a long period of time can become a cause for cancer in the future. I think that would be the best way to put it.
Dr. Ashwin, I have another one for you. So vaping these days, vaping and e-cigarettes have become very popular, and the younger generation feel that it is very cool to be vaping around, though it is illegal in India. What are the effects of vaping?
When you take a cigarette, it is known to contain more than 70 types of carcinogens. Everybody thinks vaping is safer since it doesn't have carcinogen, but it has been proved by data that vape has heavy metals or formaldehyde, which has been linked to cancer. Vaping with the chemicals that you have, and because it's an aerosolized form, it not only causes cancer, but in fact it makes you have much more faster lung issues like bronchiectasis or continuous coughing.
Vaping is known to cause something known as a popcorn lung. So it's like an unknown evil. At least tobacco, we know what it causes. Vaping, I think, should be considered even more dangerous than smoking at this particular point in time.
So unfortunately, the youth does not understand this right now. Moving on to our next question, Dr. Sai, there was one of my friends who said that, my grandfather used to smoke 2 cigarette packets a day, and he still lived 90 years of age. Does genetics or heredity has a role to play in terms of the cancer?
Yeah, I think I'll break that down into very simple numbers. Let's say you have 100 smokers, 80 to 90 of them have a chance of getting lung cancer. There are these 10 who don't get it, but there is no way to know who those 10 are. In non-smokers also, there are around 30 to 40 who can still get cancers. So when you have numbers but no definitive answers to who will get it, I feel staying away from smoking will most probably put you in the safe cohort rather than trying and seeing whether you can be in the 10. So it's as simple as that.
How do we know what is the risk? Basically, intensity of smoking, how many cigarettes of smoking, the duration of smoking, and the third that you said is genetically. Some patients that we see, me and Dr. Sai see, are more susceptible. They say they smoke only occasionally, but within 5 years, well, my friend has smoked for so long. Yes, there is a genetic susceptibility to it. Just because your friend is smoking more, you are smoking less, don't think you are safe. There is no way of knowing if you are more susceptible to developing cancer, so don't smoke.
Yeah, our body does have these chemicals which help us metabolize these carcinogens. Each of us have different levels of those enzymes, but there is no way to test for them. So the safest would be to avoid exposing ourselves to these chemicals.
Another one that I have for you, Dr. Ashwin, is, few people say that they smoke only when they have alcohol. So, how good or bad is that?
Correct. So this is one of the very common questions that we get. Alcohol is a class 1 carcinogen. Tobacco is also class 1 carcinogen. Everybody thinks that when you combine both, it is only additive. They have so much of evidence to say that if you smoke during alcohol, it is multiplicative. That is, having one cigarette with alcohol is equal to having 30 cigarettes the entire week, because the alcohol makes your entire aerodigestive system more susceptible to the smoke. In fact, adding alcohol, even if you have 2 or 3 cigarettes during having a drink, it multiplies the risk of cancer.
You can have alcohol, but socially, at this point, we are not advocating alcohol, but I think you should try to take the smokes away from your parties.
There's nothing called occasional smoker when I drink. There's no safe way of smoking. That's the bottom line.
Let's move to our next section in this conversation, which is a rapid fire round. Dr. Ashwin, will start with you. Gutka or betel nut or supari, which is better?
Nothing. All three are bad. Any tobacco, smokeless, or you are chewing or snuff or smoking, all tobacco is bad.
Dr. Sai, can quitting actually reverse the damage?
I think in 2 to 3 decades, yes, but it takes that much time.
Okay, moving on to Dr. Ashwin again. Youngest tobacco-related illness that you've seen?
I think I've seen a smoker, 26 years, who started smoking in college. By 26 years, he developed a cancer.
One myth about tobacco that needs to go, Dr. Sai?
I think no form of tobacco is safe. Any amount and any form is harmful.
So that was indeed fun. Thank you so much for watching with us. Doctors, do we have closing comments here?
Please remember, quit tobacco now. Not today, not tomorrow.
Yeah, kick the butt before it gets a chance to kick you.